Hey guys, how's it going? So I thought before I upload my next cartoon I'd show you a bit of like behind the scenes of how I did Chunkz Slap's Darkest Man, because I'm getting quite a lot of comments saying, like asking me how I made it. So I'm just going to take you through the step-by-step process of how I made Chunkz Slap's Darkest Man. These were some character designs that I did before I started work on the Animatic. Doing this sort of gives me an idea of what I want the characters to look like, so I get a firm design down before any production on the cartoon starts. This is what they usually do in film production, in animated films, and they also do it at my uni, so this is a path that I'm very familiar with. It's one that I'm used to, so doing this really helps me get a clear understanding of what the character's going to look like in certain scenes, doing expression sheets and things like that. They're only brief ones as it's such a small cartoon, but I think if it was a bigger project I'd probably work more on the character designs. So with every animation you start off with a animatic. For people wondering what an animatic is, it's like a animated storyboard, like a really rough drawn up storyboard of what you want the animation to look like. This is what I'm doing here. I've made like several versions of the animatic before I went on to cleanup.
If you ever do that again, I'm gonna kill your parents, and I know where they live. Shall I say their address?
No, please don't.
This usually doesn't take me that long to do, maybe like a couple of weeks to decide. I do most of it in my head before I draw anything up. I usually work out what I want the animation to look like, what I want certain scenes to do, and how I want characters to feel and stuff. It's a long way away from being perfect, like even the final thing I think I could have done a lot more with it, but it was originally a challenge for me. In the previous lockdown I wanted to get it done whilst we were in lockdown, because I knew then that we had a set period of time and I didn't really have much else going on, so I thought, okay, I'm going to get this entire cartoon out within the 4 weeks that we're in lockdown. And then once animatic's done, you're then moved on to cleanup. Cleanup is, well, it's basically what it says on the tin. It's basically cleaning up the rough/animatic animation. It's doing all like the in-betweens and the keyframes and making sure that all of that is right and it follows the original animatic that you designed. Sometimes you can go off board with these things, like add new ideas during cleanup, where most of my ideas come from anyway, because most of the jokes and stuff, like visually, I come up with during cleanup. So once the cleanup's done, then you add colour and then potentially shading if you want to, but I was on a pretty tight schedule, so I sort of skipped out on the shading. And I didn't really think that this cartoon necessarily needed any shading. I think it was heavily dependent on sound effects and editing. So once the colouring's done, you're then on to sound effects and editing. And this is quite possibly one of the most fun parts of the project, because you can just play around with so much. This is where I usually like tweak timing and stuff and like freeze frames just to make the comedy a bit better. Sometimes I like to add my own sound effects into the cartoon just to like exaggerate the comedy in it a bit. Like at the start when Chunkz is making the cereal, it's actually the DIY soundtrack from Animal Crossing New Horizons.
Alright, so that is how you make cereal.
I just thought that was the least Chunkz thing ever, and I thought putting that in would make it quite funny. And yeah, I think it really adds to the original audio. The flaming eyes thing was always an original concept straight from the Animatic. I just thought that idea was too funny not to include. I think it was a good idea adding that in, and I think it really adds a lot of humour to it. I'm saying adds a lot of comedy or humour and stuff, but judging from Darkest Snapchat, he seemed to enjoy it, so that's all that matters. But yeah, that's how I made Chunkz Slap's Darkest Man. I thought I'd make this like between making my next cartoon, just to let you guys know how like my thought process is and how I make the cartoons. But if you want to see more stuff like this, I'm more than happy to do more videos similar to this. But yeah, also thank you so much for 400 subscribers. I can't believe that you guys are still subscribing to me just from this one video. So I really appreciate all of you guys saying such nice things in the comments and subscribing and staying in touch, watching all my videos. So I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't know if Chunkz has seen this cartoon yet, but if Chunkz has seen it, please let me know. See what he thinks. I have tried to get in contact with him, but I think he's a busy guy, so I'm not taking it to heart if he has seen it or not. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys. Take care.